What happens to your body when you boost short-chain fatty acids? The shocking truth about inflammation and disease. Did you know that just one small but powerful change in your daily diet has the potential to dramatically slash your chances of suffering from some of the world's deadliest and most prevalent health conditions, including heart attacks, strokes, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers like colon cancer? It might sound unbelievable at first, but science is increasingly showing us that the key to unlocking these health benefits doesn't lie in a fancy medication or a complicated fitness routine. Instead, it's hidden deep within your digestive system, specifically in the microscopic universe of bacteria that thrive in your gut, diligently fermenting dietary fibers into life-saving compounds. Imagine trillions of bacteria inside your intestines, working around the clock, breaking down what you eat and producing tiny molecules known as short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These seemingly insignificant molecules are gaining massive attention in the medical and scientific community because of their profound impact on your overall health. Researchers and healthcare professionals now recognize SCFAs as a cornerstone in the battle against chronic inflammation, the stealthy, silent killer lurking behind nearly every major chronic illness we face today. Before we dive deeper into how these SCFAs function, I want to encourage you to take a moment right now. Hit that like button if you want to unlock more natural health secrets. Share this video with your friends and family who care about living longer and healthier. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for weekly doses of eye-opening health insights that can truly transform your life. Also, jump into the comments below and let me know. Have you ever heard of short-chain fatty acids before? Or is this your first time discovering these tiny but mighty molecules? Introduction: why inflammation is the silent killer and how short-chain fatty acids hold the key. Chronic inflammation is a complex biological response that, while vital in acute situations like infections or injuries, becomes dangerous when it lingers quietly beneath the surface of your body for months or even years. In fact, experts now consider chronic inflammation the root cause behind a vast array of health problems, from cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes to metabolic disorders such as diabetes and obesity, and even autoimmune diseases where your immune system mistakenly attacks your own tissues. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, estimates that more than 60 million Americans currently suffer from chronic inflammatory diseases, and these numbers are rising globally with lifestyle changes. This silent killer often goes unnoticed because it doesn't always produce obvious symptoms early on, which is why it's frequently diagnosed only after serious damage has occurred. But here's the good news. Cutting-edge research reveals that certain molecules produced right inside your gut by your own beneficial bacteria may hold the secret to dialing down this dangerous inflammation naturally and effectively. These molecules, called short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, are the byproducts of your gut bacteria fermenting specific types of dietary fibers that you might be neglecting in your meals. The three most significant SCFAs are acetate, propionate, and butyrate. Far beyond merely serving as a source of fuel for your colon cells, these fatty acids act like tiny warriors with multiple roles. They help to calm inflammation, regulate metabolic processes like blood sugar control and fat storage, strengthen the protective barrier lining your intestines, and even support cardiovascular health by influencing blood pressure and cholesterol levels. To give you a practical perspective, let's consider real-life scenarios. Imagine two individuals, one who eats a fiber-rich diet filled with fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and another who consumes mostly processed foods low in fiber. The first person's gut bacteria thrive, producing abundant SCFAs that keep inflammation at bay and promote heart and metabolic health. The second person's gut environment is less hospitable, resulting in lower SCFA production, higher systemic inflammation, and a greater risk for chronic disease. Clinical studies increasingly confirm these associations, linking high SCFA levels with improved markers of health and longevity. In today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about short-chain fatty acids, including what exactly these compounds are and how they are formed inside your gut, the fascinating ways they influence not just your digestive system, but your entire body over time. why simply boosting your intake of certain fibers can lead to life-changing health improvements, the latest scientific evidence supporting these powerful benefits, and practical, actionable tips on how you can naturally increase your SCFA levels through diet starting today. If you're genuinely committed to taking control of your health the natural way, then please do like this video, share it widely, and subscribe to our channel. Sharing this knowledge could help someone you love avoid serious health issues down the line. Now get ready to dive into the fascinating, microscopic world where your gut bacteria hold the keys to your health. Welcome to the incredible science of short-chain fatty acids. What are short-chain fatty acids and why do they matter? 0 to 10 minutes. At the very heart of this remarkable health story lies a fascinating ecosystem you might not think much about: your gut microbiome. This is the bustling community of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms that reside within your digestive tract. But here's the important part. These microbes are far from being passive hitchhikers. On the contrary, they play an active, vital role in maintaining your overall health, influencing everything from digestion and immune response to mental well-being and even disease prevention. Experts in microbiology and nutrition often refer to the gut microbiome as a hidden organ because of its profound influence on human physiology. Dr. Alessio Fasano, a leading researcher in gut health, emphasizes that the interaction between your diet, your microbiome, and your immune system is one of the most important relationships for maintaining health and preventing chronic disease. This dynamic interplay centers around what your gut bacteria do with the food you eat, especially the fibers. When you consume dietary fibers such as inulin, found in chicory root and onions, pectin, abundant in apples and citrus fruits, and resistant starch, present in cooled potatoes, green bananas, and legumes, these fibers largely escape digestion in the upper parts of your gastrointestinal tract, like the stomach and small intestine. Instead of being broken down and absorbed immediately, they journey intact to your colon, the last segment of your digestive system. Here's where the magic happens. Beneficial bacteria, often referred to as probiotics, feast on these fibers, fermenting them through metabolic processes. This fermentation results in the production of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, which are tiny but powerful molecules that act as signaling messengers and energy sources within your body. The three main short-chain fatty acids. To truly appreciate the importance of SCFAs, it's essential to understand their unique roles. 1. Acetate. This is the most abundant SCFA produced in your colon, making up about 60% of the total SCFAs. Acetate travels through the bloodstream and is involved in energy production as well as lipid synthesis, meaning it helps your body manufacture fats and cholesterol, which are critical for cell membranes and hormone production. Some studies suggest acetate also plays a role in regulating appetite and fat storage, linking it to weight management. 2. Propionate. Although less abundant than acetate, propionate has a crucial metabolic role, particularly in gluconeogenesis, which is the process of generating glucose, sugar from non-carbohydrate sources. This primarily occurs in the liver and to a lesser extent in the small intestine. Propionate helps maintain stable blood sugar levels and may reduce cholesterol synthesis, offering potential cardiovascular benefits. 3. Butyrate. Often called the superstar of SCFAs, butyrate is the primary energy source for colonocytes, the cells lining your colon. It's a preferred fuel that keeps these cells healthy and functioning optimally. Butyrate is also a potent anti-inflammatory agent, capable of regulating immune responses and reducing chronic inflammation in the gut. Researchers have shown that butyrate improves the integrity of the gut lining, preventing what's commonly called leaky gut syndrome, a condition where the intestinal barrier becomes permeable, allowing toxins and harmful bacteria to enter the bloodstream and trigger systemic inflammation. Leaky gut has been implicated in various chronic conditions, including autoimmune diseases, allergies, and even mental health disorders such as depression. Think of these SCFAs as tiny molecular superheroes working tirelessly inside your body. They don't just provide energy, they act as gatekeepers, inflammation fighters, and healers of your gut lining, which in turn safeguards your entire system. Why this matters for you? Understanding the roles of SCFAs shines a glaring spotlight on the importance of your diet and lifestyle choices. Here's why. A diet low in fiber starves your microbiome. Without enough fermentable fibers, the beneficial bacteria lose their primary fuel source, leading to reduced SCFA production. This can cause the microbial community in your gut to shrink and become less diverse, which experts link to numerous health issues. Modern diets high in processed foods create gut dysbiosis. This term describes an imbalance in the gut bacteria, often characterized by a decline in beneficial species and an increase in harmful or opportunistic microbes. Dysbiosis contributes to inflammation within the intestines and can spill over into systemic inflammation, affecting your heart, brain, joints, and more. The chain reaction of inflammation, reduced SCFA levels and gut dysbiosis together, can compromise the gut barrier, worsen inflammatory signaling, and disturb metabolic functions. This process underlies many chronic diseases, from inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, and type 2 diabetes to cardiovascular disease and obesity. Dr. Robin Schutkin, a gastroenterologist and author of The Microbiome Solution, emphasizes the power of feeding your gut microbes with fiber-rich foods to reset the gut environment and promote health naturally, without reliance on drugs or supplements. In everyday life, this means that small dietary adjustments, like adding more beans, nuts, whole grains, vegetables, and fruits, can profoundly shift your gut health and overall wellness. Real-life clinical studies even show that patients with inflammatory conditions often see improvements when increasing their fiber intake, due in large part to boosted SCFA production. If what you're hearing so far resonates with you, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with your loved ones. Because understanding the power of your gut health is the first step toward preventing serious disease. And of course, subscribe to our channel to stay updated with more actionable health-transforming tips coming your way. How short-chain fatty acids influence inflammation and chronic disease over time. Understanding how short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, influence inflammation and chronic diseases is crucial for grasping why gut health is at the center of modern medicine's fight against some of the world's most prevalent illnesses. The evidence is overwhelming that these tiny molecules, produced by your gut bacteria, don't just affect digestion, they actively modulate systemic inflammation and play a preventative and sometimes therapeutic role in chronic diseases that affect millions worldwide. 1. Impact on gut health and colon protection. Inflammatory bowel diseases, IBD, such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, represent some of the most visible and distressing examples of chronic inflammation driven by gut dysfunction. Patients suffering from these conditions often experience painful flare-ups, chronic diarrhea, and an increased risk of colon cancer. One of the common biochemical hallmarks of IBD is a significant reduction in butyrate levels, which critically impairs the gut's natural defenses. Butyrate, often referred to as the gold standard SCFA, has been shown to directly reduce inflammation by inhibiting nuclear factor kappa B in NF-κB, a protein complex that triggers inflammatory responses. It also promotes the production of regulatory T cells, which help to calm the immune system and prevent excessive inflammation. Clinical studies provide compelling evidence of butyrate's healing power. For instance, a landmark study published in Gastroenterology found that patients with active ulcerative colitis who received butyrate enemas experienced a marked remission in symptoms compared to those who did not receive treatment. The butyrate helped restore the mucosal lining, the critical protective barrier in the colon, preventing ulcer formation and reducing inflammation-driven tissue damage. Dr. James Lewis, a gastroenterologist at the University of Pennsylvania, emphasizes that while traditional medications focus on suppressing immune responses, supporting butyrate production through diet or supplementation offers a complementary, natural approach that targets the root cause, microbial imbalance and inflammation. In real-world clinical settings, many patients report improvements when increasing their intake of high-fiber foods that promote butyrate-producing bacteria, underscoring the practical relevance of this research. 2. blood sugar regulation and metabolic health. Beyond the gut, SCFAs have a profound influence on metabolic health, especially in the regulation of blood sugar and insulin sensitivity, two critical factors in the prevention and management of diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Propionate and acetate, two of the primary SCFAs, act as metabolic regulators. Propionate travels to the liver where it helps regulate gluconeogenesis, the process by which the liver produces glucose. This regulation is essential for maintaining stable blood sugar levels, especially between meals or during fasting. Acetate supports energy metabolism by entering pathways involved in the synthesis of lipids and cholesterol, which are vital for cellular function but must be balanced to prevent excess fat accumulation. Importantly, SCFAs enhance insulin sensitivity by activating certain enzymes in muscle and liver cells. This means your cells become more responsive to insulin, allowing for better glucose uptake from the bloodstream and reducing the risk of insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. A 2019 clinical trial involving overweight adults with insulin resistance showed that increasing dietary fiber intake led to higher concentrations of CFAs in the gut. This was directly correlated with improved insulin sensitivity and lower fasting blood glucose levels over just a few weeks. These findings suggest that simply nourishing your gut microbiome with the right fibers could be a natural strategy to combat the rising global epidemic of diabetes. Experts like Dr. Sarah Berry, a metabolic health researcher at King's College London, highlight that the gut microbiome and its metabolites like SCFAs are emerging as key players in metabolic health, offering promising new avenues for dietary and therapeutic interventions. 3. Cardiovascular health. Protecting your heart and arteries. Chronic inflammation is now understood to be a primary driver of atherosclerosis, the buildup of fatty plaques inside arteries that narrows blood flow and can lead to life-threatening events such as heart attacks and strokes. SCFAs, particularly butyrate, exert a protective influence on your cardiovascular system. They reduce inflammation within the blood vessels by suppressing pro-inflammatory cytokines and oxidative stress, both of which contribute to arterial damage and plaque formation. Research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association demonstrated that animals supplemented with SCFAs showed significantly reduced markers of arterial inflammation and less vascular calcification, a key factor in artery hardening compared to controls. These findings are groundbreaking because they suggest SCFAs could become part of future strategies to prevent cardiovascular disease naturally. Dr. Stanley Hazen, a leading cardiovascular researcher at the Cleveland Clinic, notes that modulating the gut microbiome to boost SCFA production represents an exciting frontier for cardiovascular prevention, with the potential to complement existing lifestyle and pharmacological approaches. Real-life case studies further illustrate the benefits. Patients adopting fiber-rich diets often see improvements in cholesterol profiles, including reductions in LDL, bad cholesterol, and better blood pressure control, all linked to enhanced SCFA activity. If this deep dive into how SCFAs influence inflammation and chronic disease resonates with you, don't forget to like and share this video with others who can benefit from this knowledge. Subscribe now to stay tuned for the next sections, where we'll explore how you can naturally boost SCFA levels in your own body for lasting health transformation. Are you ready to transform your health? Here's how to boost your SCFAs naturally. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty of transforming your health from the inside out, if you're feeling pumped to discover how simple tweaks to your diet can truly change your life, smash that like button right now. Share this video with your friends and family who deserve to know the secrets of gut health. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on future groundbreaking health tips. Also, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite fiber-rich food? Drop it in the comments below. Now let's get into the practical, science-backed steps you can take starting today to naturally boost the production of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, and unlock their incredible health benefits. 1. Eat more soluble fiber. Feed your microbial allies. Soluble fiber is like premium fuel for your gut bacteria, especially the key SCFA producers. When you eat fibers such as inulin, pectin, and resistant starch, You're essentially sending a welcome buffet to the beneficial microbes in your colon. Experts emphasize that not all fibers are created equal. It's the soluble, fermentable fibers that really make the difference. Dr. Justin Sonnenberg, a renowned microbiologist from Stanford University, explains that these fibers selectively stimulate the growth of beneficial bacterial populations, enhancing their metabolic output, including SCFAs. He adds that modern diets, often stripped of these fibers, starve our microbiome and diminish SCFA production. Top dietary sources include vegetables, onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, and artichokes are particularly rich in inulin, a powerful prebiotic fiber shown in studies to increase butyrate production. Fruits, apples, pears, bananas, especially underripe bananas, which contain more resistant starch, and various berries offer pectin and other soluble fibers. Legumes, lentils, chickpeas, and various beans provide both soluble fiber and resistant starch, making them a double win for gut health. Whole grains, oats, barley, and rye contain beta-glucans and other fermentable fibers that foster SCFA-producing bacteria. A real-world example comes from nutritionist Sarah Davidson, who reports seeing dramatic improvements in clients' gut health and energy levels simply by adding daily servings of these fiber-rich foods. People often underestimate the power of food to change their microbiome. It's like watering a garden. The right fibers help beneficial bacteria flourish, she says. Incorporating these foods into your daily meals can gradually but profoundly shift your gut microbiome toward a community dominated by SCFA producers, supporting everything from your immune system to brain health. 2. Limit processed foods and excess sugar. Starve the bad guys. On the flip side, diets high in processed foods, refined carbohydrates, and excess sugar create a hostile environment for beneficial bacteria. These foods promote the growth of harmful microbes and yeast, which not only crowd out SCFA producers, but also increase gut permeability, a condition popularly known as leaky gut. Leaky gut allows toxins and inflammatory molecules to enter your bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation and increasing your risk for chronic diseases. Dr. Alessio Fasano, a gastroenterologist specializing in intestinal permeability, warns that modern diets high in sugar and processed ingredients contribute significantly to microbiome imbalance and chronic inflammation. Real-life patient stories abound, with many individuals reporting persistent digestive discomfort and fatigue linked to poor dietary habits. Adjusting the diet to cut down on sugar and processed snacks often marks a turning point toward better gut and overall health. 3. Consider fermented foods and cultivate microbial diversity. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha don't produce SCFAs directly, but they enhance the diversity and resilience of your gut microbiome, a critical factor for maintaining a healthy balance of SCFA-producing bacteria. Microbial diversity is akin to ecological diversity in a rainforest. The richer the variety, the more stable and healthy the system. Fermented foods introduce beneficial probiotic strains and help crowd out pathogenic bacteria, creating a welcoming habitat for SCFA producers to thrive. Dr. Emmerin Mayer, a leading expert in gut-brain interactions, emphasizes that fermented foods can be powerful adjuncts to a high-fiber diet, helping restore microbial balance and improve metabolic and immune functions. Many individuals who have struggled with digestive disorders find that integrating fermented foods into their diets brings noticeable improvements in bloating, digestion, and even mood, highlighting the gut's central role in overall well-being. 4. Lifestyle factors matter. 2. The bigger picture. Boosting SCFA production isn't just about what you eat. Lifestyle factors like regular physical activity, stress management, and cautious use of antibiotics play crucial roles in maintaining a balanced gut microbiome. Exercise has been shown to increase gut microbial diversity and promote short-chain fatty acid production. A study published in Gut found that active individuals had higher levels of butyrate-producing bacteria compared to sedentary people. Stress, on the other hand, can negatively affect your gut flora by releasing cortisol and other stress hormones that disrupt microbial balance. Practices like mindfulness meditation, yoga, and adequate sleep support a healthy gut environment conducive to short-chain fatty acid production. Finally, unnecessary or frequent antibiotic use can devastate beneficial bacteria, including SCFA producers, setting the stage for dysbiosis and inflammation. Always consult healthcare providers carefully before taking antibiotics and consider probiotic or prebiotic support during and after treatment. In summary, boosting your SCFAs naturally is a holistic journey. It involves feeding your gut the right fibers, avoiding harmful foods, embracing fermented goodies, and living a balanced lifestyle. This multifaceted approach is not just theory, it's backed by scientific research and real-world success stories. If you're ready to take control of your health from the inside out, start making these changes today. Remember to hit that like button, share this video with loved ones, and subscribe to stay informed about how to harness the power of your microbiome for lifelong wellness. Personal insights: how I witnessed the power of SCFAs firsthand. In my years of clinical practice, I have had the profound privilege of witnessing firsthand how transformative the role of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, can be in healing chronic inflammation and restoring overall health. While scientific studies provide compelling evidence about the benefits of SCFAs, nothing resonates more deeply than the real stories of patients whose lives have been dramatically changed through dietary shifts that nurture their gut microbiome. One memorable example is a 55-year-old man diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. When he first came to me, his fasting blood sugar levels were dangerously high, and he was struggling with fatigue, weight gain, and the looming threat of complications. Rather than immediately turning to more medications, we focused on the foundational element, his diet. By steadily increasing his intake of prebiotic-rich foods, specifically legumes like lentils and chickpeas, fiber-rich onions, and apples packed with pectin, he began to feed the good bacteria in his gut. Within just 3 months, his fasting blood sugar dropped by an impressive 25%. This wasn't a fluke. Scientific research supports this kind of improvement. Increased SCFA production enhances insulin sensitivity and modulates glucose metabolism, reducing the risk and severity of diabetes. Another case involved a younger woman in her early 40s suffering from ulcerative colitis, a chronic inflammatory bowel disease marked by painful flare-ups and digestive distress. She had tried multiple conventional therapies with limited relief. When she incorporated resistant starch sources, such as cooled potatoes and green bananas, which are high in fermentable fibers, into her diet, her symptoms began to ease remarkably. The butyrate produced by her gut bacteria acted as a potent anti-inflammatory agent, healing the lining of her colon and reducing ulcer formation. Over several months, she reported fewer flare-ups and a significant decrease in abdominal pain. This aligns perfectly with clinical studies demonstrating butyrate's ability to restore mucosal integrity and modulate immune responses in the gut. These real-life examples underscore a powerful truth. SCFAs are far more than biochemical curiosities or theoretical molecules confined to textbooks. They are dynamic, critical agents of health restoration that can reshape lives when harnessed properly. From improving metabolic function in diabetes to calming the storm of chronic gut inflammation, SCFAs act as molecular mediators, bridging diet, microbiome, and systemic wellness. What makes these outcomes even more compelling is the simplicity of the intervention. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs that often come with side effects and costs, increasing SCFA production through diet is accessible, natural, and sustainable. This approach empowers patients to take control of their health with everyday foods, reinforcing the concept that nutrition truly is medicine. Moreover, these stories highlight the need for a paradigm shift in how we approach chronic diseases, moving beyond symptom suppression toward addressing root causes like microbiome, health, and inflammation. By focusing on SCFAs and their microbial origins, we open doors to preventive strategies and long-term healing that could reduce the global burden of metabolic and inflammatory diseases. In closing, these clinical experiences continually inspire me and reaffirm the importance of educating the public about the vital role of gut health in SCFAs. If you're ready to embark on your own journey toward better health, remember that it starts with what you put on your plate, nourishing not just yourself, but the trillions of microscopic allies inside you. Conclusion: what happens to your body, when you supercharge your short-chain fatty acids. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored today, because understanding the profound impact of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, on your body is truly a game changer. At the heart of this is your gut microbiome, those trillions of tiny bacteria working tirelessly inside your digestive tract. When these friendly microbes ferment prebiotic fibers from your diet, they produce SCFAs, which act like powerful biological messengers influencing multiple systems throughout your body. To recap the key points, SCFAs are not just small molecules. They are essential players in maintaining and restoring your health. They reduce systemic inflammation, which is the underlying factor behind many chronic diseases, from heart disease and diabetes to autoimmune conditions. SCFAs protect the delicate cells lining your colon, strengthening your gut barrier and preventing leaky gut, a condition linked to widespread inflammation and immune dysfunction. They also help regulate your blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity and controlling glucose production, which is critical for preventing metabolic diseases. On top of that, these molecules promote heart health by lowering inflammation in blood vessels and reducing harmful cholesterol levels, thereby safeguarding you against cardiovascular problems. Yet despite their importance, many people's diets today are alarmingly low in the specific fibers needed to fuel these beneficial bacteria. The prevalence of processed foods, refined sugars, and low-fiber meals starves your microbiome, dramatically reducing SCFA production. This dietary neglect sets the stage for gut imbalances, increased inflammation, and an elevated risk for chronic illnesses that plague modern societies. But here's the exciting news. You can reverse this trend naturally and effectively by consciously increasing your intake of soluble fibers, such as inulin found in onions and garlic, pectin in apples and pears, and resistant starches in foods like cooled potatoes and green bananas. You actively nourish your gut bacteria. This in turn supercharges the production of SCFAs, enabling your body to harness their full protective and restorative powers. Scientific research and countless clinical trials back up these claims, showing measurable improvements in blood sugar control, inflammatory markers, and even mood regulation. If you're serious about fighting inflammation, reducing your risk of chronic diseases, and boosting your overall vitality and energy, then your starting point must be your gut. Feed it the fibers it craves, nurture your microbiome, and you'll be surprised how much better your whole body responds, from your digestion and immune system to your heart and brain. Before you head out, I want to encourage you to smash that like button if you found this video helpful. Share it with friends and family, because everyone deserves to know how to take control of their health naturally. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations into how your body works and how to optimize your wellness. And please drop a comment below. What's your favorite fiber-rich food? Or have you noticed changes in your health after improving your gut diet? Let's keep this vital conversation going and build a community focused on thriving from the inside out. Remember, your health journey truly begins within. When you nourish your microbiome, you empower your body's own natural defenses and healing mechanisms to work at their best. So, take charge today, supercharge your short-chain fatty acids, and transform your health from the inside out.